Okay, so we found the equation as 4m plus 1. This was 61 because we used this. So we do 15 times 4 plus 1, which is 61. And this one, we put it into this format, then rearrange it and find m equals 4m plus 1. So I'll just rearrange it. And if I was to rearrange it, I take the 1 to the other side. It becomes 200, which is equals to 4m. Then m on its own will be 200 divided by 4.
Yeah.
Which should give me m on its own, and m is 50. Okay, so that's done. Okay, so solve those equations. Can you solve them yourself? So find a. So do a, b, c, d, e.
Okay, so take the 7 to this side, so it's plus 7, so it becomes 3a equals 27.
Yep.
And 27 divided by 3 is 9. So a is equal to 9.
Very good.
That's 9 minus 15b. So it's a minus, so 45.
Minus 9.
D has to be a minus, a negative number, because minus is a positive.
No, why does it have to be a minus number for?
Because 9
yes. So
minus 20 will be minus 11.
First take the 9 to the other side. Take the 9 to the other side. You get 45 minus 9, which is 36. So minus 15d is equals to 36. Now d is equals 36 divided by 15. That's it. So it's going to be a minus number because 36 divided by 15, whatever that is. Okay, now do the next one. C.
So if I take the 5 to that side, it becomes a plus 8.
Yep.
If I take the n to this side, it's a negative. So it's 2n equals 8.
Okay.
Or is it 2n plus 8?
Okay, so if you take the minus 4 to the other, that's fine. This is a plus 4. If I take it to, it's going to be 6n minus 4. This is a plus 4 at the moment. If you take it to the other side, it becomes a minus 4. So you're going to have now 6 minus 4.
Oh.
So this is already a minus.
So it's a 10. It's 10n.
So you're going to have, so 6 minus, then minus 4, which should 10a. So now n is equals to, what is n is equals to?
10 over 8.
So 8 over 10. So n stays where it is. You just take the 10 to the other side. So 8 over 10. That's it. Okay, do this one.
Okay.
Oops. D. How will you do D? Yep, so that's 10 equals
2x over 3 equals 10.
Yep.
Will 2x equal 30?
Yep. So how you can take the 3 to the other side, so 2x is equals to 30.
So x equals 15?
Yep, that's it.
30 over 3 is 10 plus 1, 11. Wait, so does this become a 2 times 7 times x? Or is it
6 minus 4 times 7, which is 28, minus 4x. So minus and minus makes it a plus 4x.
minus 4?
So you're going to, right, where do you get minus 28 from?
Minus 4 times 7.
Okay, plus you got the 6 at the front as well. 6 should go there as well.
Oh, okay.
The 6 is already there. That's fine. But it's going to be minus 4x, not 4x. Because minus and minus
Oh.
makes it plus.
Plus 4x.
Yep. So now, how are you going to rearrange it? So 6 minus 28 is minus 22 plus 4x. So
So
here,
then, if I take the 28 to this side, it becomes a 30. And if I take the 4x to this side,
what are you doing? What are you doing? You're confusing everything. Okay, you're
I'm
taking,
confused as well.
which one are you taking to which side? You can't take both to the same side. So first of all, I'm going to write it like this. It's going to be minus 28, 22 plus 4x, right?
Hmm?
Now, which one are you going to take to which side? You can't take both to the same side. So if you take minus 22 to the other side, that becomes plus 22, so it becomes 24. Oh, sorry. So I'm going to write it here. So 24 now is equals to, now you've got already plus 4x here, right? So you have to bring the other 6x to this side now. Because you took this to this side, that means you have to bring the x's to this side. So if this is a plus 6x, that's going to be minus 6x, right? So now that becomes minus 2x. So 4 minus 6 is minus 2x, right? So now your x is equals to 24 divided by minus 2x, which is minus 12. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Or you could have done it the other way around. Let me use a different color. I could have taken, keep the 28 on 22 on this side, minus 22, and bring the 2 on this side. So that will become minus 2 as well. So it's going to become minus 24. So minus 22, take away 2. And I have 6x on this side. Take the 4 on this side. I'll get minus 2x. I mean plus 2x. So this is 4. Take it to the other side. So you get 2x. It's still the same thing. So now your x is minus 24 over 2, which is still minus 12. So you always have to make sure the x is on one side and the whole number is on the other side, which is still minus 12. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
So do not put everything on the same side. Okay. What is the mean handspan? Mean
You
is
just have to add it all up and then divide it by how many there are.
Yeah, that's mean. So mean is like the average.
Yeah.
So you add up all of them and then divide it by whatever they are. So what is the median? The median one is the middle one. So ideally,
You put them all in order.
you have to
No,
put
the one that comes most often.
Yeah. So the one that have the middle one, no, the mode is the most often. I mean,
So it's just you put them in order and the most often. I mean, no, the middle one.
The middle one. So basically, you're going to put them in order.
Oh. 18. And then 123. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
So
1, 2, 3, 4.
the seventh person will be the median, I mean. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up to 19 is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So number 19 is the median one. So here, that's the median one. Okay, what is the range? The range is you got the lowest and the highest and minus each other. So 23 minus 17, which is 6. Yep, very good. Okay, now circumference. What is the circumference of a bicycle? Well, if the radius is 32 centimeters squared. The circumference is you're finding the perimeter now. So you're not looking at the area. So what's the formula we use to find the circumference? Any idea?
Pi times radius squared.
Not squared, that's for area. We're not looking for the area, we're looking for the perimeter.
The circumference is the perimeter.
Yep. So what's the
Then pi times 2 pi times radius.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry. So 2 times pi times radius. So whatever the answer is, you put it in there. Now, so it's going to be 32. So 2 times pi is 3.14 times 2 is going to be 7.1428 or 6.28, yep. And then times it by 32, whatever that is.
And that is 200.96.
And now, what they're asking you is a complete revolution does the wheel make in a journey of 5 kilometers. So the circumference.
How do you figure that out?
So you put 5 kilometers into centimeters first, and then divide it by 1 full circle. So how many kilometers makes a centimeter? We know 1,000 meters makes a kilometer. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to show them the working out. So we know 1,000. Is it 100 or 1,000? I forgot. How many meters?
1,000.
Yeah, so 1,000 meters makes 1 kilometer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then 100 centimeters makes a meter, right?
Yeah.
So what you're going to do is convert this into 5 kilometers into centimeters. So you're going to do 5 times 1,000, that's 5,000, times it by 100. So what I'm going to do is, I could do is 5 times 100 first, which is 500. Then times that 500 by another 1,000 to give me how many meters? So that will give me, is it 50,000? Let me see. 500 times 1,000. No, 500,000. So that gives me 500,000 centimeters. So now I have this 500,000 centimeters divided by one circumference, one circumference of a circle. So that was times it by 32. So that was 200.96. So now my answer here would be 500,000 divided by 200.96. So for 5 kilometer circle ride, the wheel will spin around 2,488 times. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the whole wheel will spin over 2,400 times for a 5 kilometer journey. Okay, so that's this part. If it takes 20 minutes to cycle 8 kilometers, what is the speed? So you could work this out. How do we calculate the speed?
20 minutes to cycle.
We've got 8 kilometers.
So 8 divided by 0.33 is 24.24.
Fantastic. What is the speed in meters per second? So meters per seconds. Give your answer to correct to 2 decimal points.
So I've just got to divide 24.24 by 1,000.
Yep. So what is the speed in meters per second? No, but no, meters per second. Yes, per second. So this is in minutes now, isn't it? So I think you have to divide it by 60, then divide it by 60 again. The first 60 will give me a minute. No, only 160 actually. It's not hour. So
And it's 0.4.
okay, 0.4 meters. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. List all the possible cards. The following 4 cards are shuffled and placed down. Jacob selects 2 cards randomly. So you can select 2 and 3, 2 and 6, 2 and 7, then 3 and 2, 3 and 6, 3 and 7, 6 and 2, 6 and 3, 6 and 7, then 7 and 6, 7, 3, 7, 2. So 3 times 4, 12 possibilities. Is okay?
Yeah.
You just list them. Find the probability that the 2 cards is 9.
Adds up to 9. So he'd have to get 2 and 7, and he'd have to get 3 and 6.
Yep. So it's going to be 2 out of whatever, 12.
How many possibilities there are?
Okay, let's write the possibilities down. So I could have let me clear everything. So we could have 2 and 3. That's one possibility. Then 2 and 6, and then 2 and 7, right? Then I could also have the other way around. So I could have 7 and 2, 7 and 3, and 7 and 6. Then those 2 as well. So I could have 3, 2. So I think there's 12 possibilities altogether. 2, 3, and 3, 6, 3, 7. I could have next 6, 3, 6, 2, 6, 7. Did I miss anything out? So I've got
No.
7. So that's 12. So the possibility is 12. 3 times 4. Find the probability. So I could have either, let me change the color. We're looking for 9, is it? So that will give me 1 9. That will give me 2 9. That will give me 3 9. And that gives me 4 9. So it's going to be 4 out of 12.
So that can be 1/3.
Yep. So 1/3, yep. And now find both which are even. So let me change the color again. So even, I could have 2 and 6, 1. Nope, nothing here. 2, no, that's 3 in it, yep. So only 2 possibility of even. 6 and 2, and 2 and 6. So it's going to be 2 out of 12, which is 1 out of 6. So 1 out of 6. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. On the grid, show point B and D and the other 2 corners. So A and C on the grid are opposite corners of a square. Write down the coordinate. That should be easy for you, isn't it? Let's put the coordinates down, make a square. We're going to go for this. Here's a cube. Which face is opposite B? So when you put it up, which face is opposite B? So when you make it, so this will go there. This
D?
is it going to be D? D is going to be on the side.
No,
right?
E.
E, yeah.
E.
E is going to be on the side. Which face will be opposite the one marked C? I think it's going to be F, is it?
Yeah.
F will go on the other side, yep. Okay, calculate the volume of the prism. So what you need to do is, volume of the prism is you work out the area. So you're going to find this area. I think you do length times height times width. Let's put C, volume of prism formula. So the volume of prism's formula is, yep, length times width times height. So you just times each one.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 6.6 times 6.6 times 8.8 times 16.5. That will give you the volume. So calculate the surface area of the prism. Surface area is just this area now. So let me get the equation out. Surface area. Okay, the surface area is, surface area of prism is given a surface area of rectangle prism is, no, that's not. So the surface area is then 2 times length times width times height times width times height. So every time we got width times length. This is a bit tricky, isn't it? They don't give you. Let me see if they have anything else. So that's a triangular prism. That's what we got. So you do A, B, C, A, B, H. That's the surface area of pentagon, hexagon. We're looking for triangular. Okay, so you do A times B times 3 times BH. Why have they put 3? Our question is that the normal prism? Okay, no, they don't have any. Okay, that's the best one. So that's what we got. So you do P, that's the perimeter. Okay, so for surface area, we don't have a normal prism. Half of 4 times 6 plus 2. No, that's trapezium. Okay, let me look at what, and this is Chrome. Surface area of prism. Okay, that looks better. What is the surface area of a triangular prism is 4 times 3 divided by 2, and then 4 times 2. You have to add up everything.
Yeah.
So if I show you, there's different sections to a surface area. Clear everything. Okay, so you have to memorize this. I think they'll give that in the exam. So you do base times the height plus length, which is this side, times, but they haven't given us a prism like this. They're given our prism as right angle prism, isn't it? Yes. So this one is showing a normal triangle prism. So I can't, let me do surface area of a right angle prism. Yeah, that looks better. Oh, this is slow. So you have to do two sides according to this. No, they don't have the answers. This is not loading. Okay, let me see if I could find the formula somewhere.
Okay. What do software engineers at Google, SAP,
at surface area of a prism, but prisms are all different based on their base. So let's look at this prism. We have to decide what kind of base it has. That means this pillar, that is my base. Okay, and I need to know that before I start my formula. Would be these three sides that are not parallel to each other. Okay, so my lateral area are.
So we'll look at it. You need to memorize this. I think they'll give that in the exam as well. They'll give you the formula. So lateral area plus 2 times the base area. So the base area is the bottom. So you got 12 times 10. So in our case will be 8 times 16.5. And then the 2 times, then lateral area. What is lateral area is P times height. So base is half of a triangular. So half of base times height. There isn't a simple, you have to add 2 bits to it. I don't have a simple formula that I could show you somewhere. I think you just have to remember this formula. So you got 2 times base times height divided by 2 plus the lateral area, which is this, 6, times this, but they haven't given that to us. So we don't know our width here. This is rectangular, no. So what I'll do is I'll try to find you a good formula for this and try to see if I could find it for you, give it to you. None of them are showing any good formulas. So here you go, that's a good one. So our A is, what is our A? Our A is 8.8. Our B is 6.6. They found a C, so they calculate A squared minus B squared, and the length is 16.5. So the prism surface area is this, base area is this, lateral surface is this. So this is what we need, surface area. But they still haven't given me the calculate. They haven't given me any formulas to use. So that's. But I tried to find you a formula and give it to you actually.
Okay.
In the exam, they should give you the formula to use. I don't know why I can't find no formula today. I'll try to find you a formula and make it easy for you. Or have a look at this one. So A equals, no, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. What about this one? Let's not waste time. Let's go back. So I'll try to find a formula and give you for this one. Okay, we've done this before. Find the highest common denominator, common factor for, and the lowest common factor for 108 and 630. How will you do it?
Divide them.
So how will you find 630 or 108? So you divide them by each one. So first of all,
divide them by what?
The first 630 divided by 2, that gives you 120, 315. 315 divided by, you can't do it by 2, you have to divide it by 3. Then 315 divided, so let's do it together. So what we'll do, let's do 630 first. If I do 630 divided by 2, I'll get 315. 315 divided by 3, I'll get 315, 105. 105 divided by, I can't do it by 3, what about by 5? Divided by 5, yeah, I could divide it by 5, I'll get 21. 21 divided by 3, I'll get 7. And then 7 divided by 7 gives me 1.
Hmm?
So that's my 6, gives me 1. And let's do 108. 108 divided by 2, that gives me 56. Is it 56 or 54? 54, isn't it? Yeah, 54. 54 divided by 2, that gives me 26. Or 27. 27, I could divide it by 3. That will give me 9. 9 divided by 3, that gives me 3. And 3 divided by 3, I get 1. So now, out of those two, which one is the highest common factor and which one is the lowest? Any idea?
The lowest is 3,
Yep.
and the highest is I don't know.
Okay, I'm trying to find the answer as well. Final answer 6, 1, 2, 3, 9, 18. 2 and 3 more common factors. No. It didn't give me anything here. Okay, so they're saying it should be, the 18 should be thingy, greatest common factor. So 2 times 3, where did you get 18 from? 2 times 2 to the power of 3, they're saying 18. 2 times 3 times 3, it doesn't make sense. So we got 2, 3 to the power of, so to get this, no, it doesn't make sense. What are they saying? Okay. This is 2 to the power of 3 times to the power of 5. That's 2 to the power of 3. So the LCM will be 7. That's the highest. We're trying to find the lowest now. And lowest, no one gave me the answer. LCF, lowest common factor. So lowest common denominator, I think it's going to be 3. So 7 and 3 should be the answer. I can't find anything that is. Okay. If I show you this, what they're showing here is to get 108, we've done 2, 3, 3, 3, that's fine. To get 630, we've got 2, 3, 3, 5, 7, that's fine. So we add them together in his right position. So the lowest LCM is 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 7. So that gives me the least common factor. And then how we done this?
Yeah.
So that's the least count. Would you put 108 in one position, get all these numbers? Put the 2s in different positions. So we had 2, 2, 2, then 3, 3, 5, 7. That's the LCM. So I'm going to give you that link. Now to find HCF, oh, that's GCF. They're saying 18. Let's see how they found 18. So 2 times 2 times 3 times, that's 108. Yep, that's what we got. So you do 2 times 3 times 3. All the prime factors come into both numbers. Yes, so to both numbers, we got 2 and 3, which is prime factors in both numbers. So 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. So I'm going to send you those links. And then please go through it. So basically, you just have to put them in order and then times them. And for the least one, for the LCM, so for the HCF or HCF, you find the 2 prime numbers between both and you multiply them. So let me give you the link for that as well. Okay, so I'll give you the link, go through it. Okay, now the last couple of one. A ship is sailed 70 kilometers north, bearing of 240. So from here, you went 270 kilometers north. And a further 65 kilometers south. Using the scale of 1 to 10 kilometers, draw the journey in this space. So basically, you went 70, right? Then bearing 65, so 65 will be something like, this. So it went another 65. No, it can't be 65, can it? A ship sails 70 kilos. All right, let's do that again. So if it's 240, so that's 80. So even something like this, actually, 240, right? So even 70 here, right?
Yeah.
That's about around 240. I can't be exactly sure. Then a further south, something like this, they're saying. So something like this, another south 65 then. But they're not saying what, so if you went there, no, it can't be 90 degrees. First it's done 70, then it is done another 65 here. You went further south. This is going, if it's going south, they didn't give any angles there. So you just have to draw it and then show it. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so now, how far is the ship from the starting point? So what we'll do is, we could work this out. I could join up this together and use trigonometry to find this line. Oops. So basically what I could do is do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So something like this. What I could do is 70 squared plus 65 squared. Whatever this answer is, then square root it, and that gives me this line. So if I do it on the calculator quickly, so 70 times 70 is 4,900. Plus 65 times 65, that's 4,225. Add them together, I'll get 9,125. This is square rooted, and my distance now will be 95.5. That makes sense because that's the longer route. So joining from here to here is 95.5 kilometers.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? So you just
Yeah.
use trigonometry and work it out. Okay, so let's clear this. The ship then headed straight back to the start, measure the bearing of the new travel. So basically you draw the line again and you just check the bearing. So if you went something like this, then something like this, and you find that bearing here. So again, you could use cosine rule. So we know this is 95. We know this is 70. And we know this is 65, right?
Yeah.
We need to find this. So I could do opposite over hypothesis. So I could do SOHCAHTO. So will be sin. Now we're looking for the angle. So the sin minus 1. Oops. Minus 1, the 70 over 65. And that will give me the angle of this bearing. So if I put that into my calculator, I can't get I can't get sin minus 1 on my calculator for some reason. So see if I could find it on the internet. Scientific calculator. So if I inverse sin 70 divided by 65, close the bracket. This inverse thing is not working as well. Okay, what I could do is 70 divided by 65. That gives me 1.706. 1.706. And now what I could do is the inverse sin 1.076. See if that gives me the answer. Still gives me error. I'm not sure why. It shouldn't give me an error. I don't know how to get sin 106. No, that gives me a negative. I need to get minus sin. I don't know how to get minus sin on this one. If you get on your calculator, those functions. Where is the inverse? No, I can't get inverse here. Oh, there is sin. And the main 70 over 65. Close the bracket. Oops. Still coming up with error. Why is this? That's a bit weird. I got opposites. Oh, I could no. I should do opposite over hypothesis. Hypothesis is 95. Sorry, so it's my mistake. It's still giving me error. I don't understand why. Clear all again. Sin. If I do 70 over 95, I really don't understand why it's giving me errors. Okay, what I could do is let's do 70 over 95 on its own. That's 0.93. I'm not sure why it's giving me errors, seriously. But if I use this is too small. Still gives me errors. Okay, I need to find out why. So this is how you actually calculate it though. 65. You do sine opposite over hypothesis. Hypothesis is 95. But I'm not sure why it's not working at the moment. Or you could do tan as well. So that's opposite over adjacent. So if I use the tan, I'll use 70 over 65. So that should be actually tan minus 1.
Yeah.
Let me just see if tan works on here. Function tan main 70 over 65. That's it. I'm not sure why it's not working. I need to close the bracket. Yeah. I'm not sure. I need to find out why it's not working actually. It shouldn't be that problem. Okay, let's clear everything. Tan 70 over 65. But that only gives me 0.08. That can be the answer. That can be done because this is too small. If it was 18, then I'll say, okay, it's a bearing of 18, but this is too small at the moment. Okay, again, I'll try to find out why I'm not getting the right answer, then I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Okay, the last one. We've got a couple more left. The shape shown in the form of two semicircles. Find the perimeter and the area of the shape. The perimeter should be easy first. Find the circumference of this and circumference of this, then add them up. So circumference of the big one here will be 2 pi 12. Then we divide it by 2. So that'll give me the big one here. This one is the same, so I do 2 pi. But now this is, I know, 5. Altogether is 12, so 5 minus, so it's going to be 7 here. So this part is going to be radius. No, radius is not going to be 7, is it? Radius is going to be half of this. So if it's going to be 7, it's going to be 3.5. Sorry, I've done a mistake here. So the radius is going to be 3.5. Oh, no, you could do 2 diameter. No, that's fine, actually. You could do diameter. 2 times pi times diameter. So diameter is 7. That's fine.
Mm.
So that's fine. So that will give me this radius. So, and then divided by 2. So then you add up the 5 and the 4 and the 4 here as well. Does that make sense? That will give you the perimeter.
Yeah.
You add up whatever this answer is, add the 2 4s and the 5 here. That'll give you the perimeter. To find the area, now we look at the radius. So radius here is 6. So I'm going to do pi r squared. So pi 6 squared. Again, I have to divide it by 2, but that gives me a full circle. Add, this was 7, so it's going to be 3.5. So pi 3.5 squared divided by 2. So that gives me now this area. And now I add this one. So it's going to be 4 times 12, this part. So plus 4 times 12, which is 44. No, 48.
Yeah.
And that will give me the area. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's going to be in the video. Let's go over it in the video again. I want to quickly finish this and move on to cumulative. Okay, that should be easy. And Bilal and Colin shares 3,800. Work out the ratio. So you know 8 times 8 plus 5 is 13, plus 7 is 19. So what we'll do is, for each one, you do 3,800 divided by 19, then times it by 8 and 5. So if I quickly do my calculator, so it's not 19, it is 19, sorry. No, it should be 20, is it? 8 plus 5, it should be 20. Why am I doing 19 for? Because 8 plus 5 is 13, plus 7 should be 20. So now, 3,800 divided by 20, 1,090. So Bilal will get, Anne will get 8 times, so times it by 8. So Anne gets 1,520. Bilal gets 950. You times it times 100, so that gives you 190, and you times it by each one. So 190 times it by 7 now, and that gives you 1330. Is that clear?
Yeah.
That's the easy one. Okay, and the last one is transformation, I think. Okay, so transformations, describe the full transformation from A into B. So it just increases by a factor of 3 or 4. Is it 3?
Factor of 2, I think.
Factor of 2. Rotate triangle A 90 degrees, about 7/10. So you just rotate it this side and draw the triangle again, draw it and label it C. That should be easy. Okay, calculate the shaded area of your answer. So radius of the outer circle is 15. So basically, what you do, you have, this is 15. Those are 1. So you do 15 squared times pi. Whatever this answer is, for each one, you find the area of each one. So you do 1 squared times pi. Whatever the answer
So it's just 1 times pi, which is 3.14.
Yeah, 3.14. So 3.14. Then you times it by how many are there? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Hmm?
So that will give you something like 7 times 3, say about 24, averaging out about 24-ish. Then you find the answer to this and minus 24 to it. Does that make sense? So say if this answer is, let me see, so if this is, oh, you can't be right though, can you? This is 706.5. To calculate the shaded area of the following shape, give you answers to one. The radius of the outer circle is 15. This is 15, they're saying. So this will be 30. The full circle will be 30. Then, if this is 1, you can't have this as 1, because that will be too small. So you can't have 7, only 3 times 24. That would be too small, because I think we had a problem with that one last time as well, because they didn't give us the radius for each of the big circles. Shaded area. So we're only looking for the shaded area, but we have to minus the small circles. And they only gave us 15 for the big one. Nothing for the small ones. So we are assuming each one of them is 2 then. So that's going to be 2 squared. So if it's 2 times 2, times it by 3.14, times it by 7, then that comes to something like 1889. Even then, that looks small. Okay, what I'll do is I'll ask one of my colleagues to work out this answer for me and see if they could show it to me. Because I'm not sure what those are, and I'll give you the answers today.
Okay.
Okay, let me just quickly mark this. Let's take a quick picture. Okay, so that's this paper done. I'll give you the answer for this one today. Whichever one had problems with? This
We had, yes, this one.
the bearing. Okay, bearing, I'll be able to work it out. So I'll work it out after the lesson. I'll give you the answers. And the prism. I have to give you the formula for the prism. That's the only three. Is that okay?
Yeah.
This one, there's a problem with the calculator, so I have to see what I'm making mistake. Okay, so this is this paper done. I'm going to